What's up, love bugs? It is your girl, Lady LIP. Hey, did y'all miss me? I always ask y'all that because I be missing y'all, and I don't neglect y'all. I really be trying to get these in once a month. And it's awkward talking to myself now after doing an interview, so I find that it's harder to commit to this style of the podcast show as opposed to the interview style. But I'm committed, I'm dedicated, I'm here, and I know y'all could be anywhere in the motherfucking world, but y'all chose to be here with your favorite Queen of Hearts. Thank you, and I do not take your presence for granted. So I know from the title of this video, y'all like, what is she going to talk about, right? But I felt like this has been a recurring feeling like in my spirit for a while. And I thought of this topic because I know we can't predict, prevent, um, or delay death in a sense. But as a paranoid person, paranoid parent, especially, I feel like I do things that'll minimize the risk. All right. So, for instance, school is coming up. Our children are gearing up for the new school year and they're getting their school clothes and the book bags and the school supplies and the excitement about the schedules and comparing it with their friends. And here's a mom, I'm like, what is bothering me? What is interfering with my joy of back to school, back to life, back to reality schedule? And I sat with it because I learned that in therapy. You know what I'm saying? When something is unsettling, uncomfortable, when you're unsure, you just sit with it, you process it. And after processing it, I realized Uvalde, that was just a few months ago. And those children don't get to start a new school year. And how unsettling and sad that was when it happened. And I began to thinking, okay, what can I teach my child as a parent to try to save their life? And, what could we learn from that situation? I'm not in the school district. I don't run the school district. None of us are, right? But, just talking to my kid, hey, if you feel something, if you hear something, if you see something, you got time, report it. Self-preservation is a must. God forbid somebody busting your classroom with a weapon or, making threats. Find a spot, hide in it, stay quiet, play dead. Do what you can to minimize your risk, because I read articles on articles on articles from those accounts and what parents were experiencing and what the teachers said happened and what some of the students who survived were reporting. And one kid ended up getting shot because they yelled out, we're in here to law enforcement. But I'm sure that's what they were told or trained or thought was right. And that ended up costing the child their life. So, to my child, don't yell out. Stay quiet. If you can secretly dial 911, if you could secretly send a text, do so, but not at the risk of something happening to you. I also, think of other things. Like, when they say a smart person learns from their own mistakes, but a wise person learns from the mistake of others. I'm wise. I'm wise as hell because I will literally not do something to minimize my risk because I know it resulted in someone else's death or significant injury or illness, right? Here's an example. So I read articles every day. I'm always on Yahoo, MSN, news outlets, just soaking in what's going on in the world. And I saw where the Olympic swimmer jumped in the pool, passed out, and her trainer had to come and save her. I also saw where a couple of ladies were in the pool, and they ended up drowning. Two were in the pool, one was in a river, things like that, right? So thank God for the Olympic swimmer. There were people around to save her. And then I see in this situation that these other two women who drowned in the pool, there was no one else around. And I'm like, I'm never getting in the pool alone. I could get dizzy. I can, God forbid, have a seizure. When you dive in the pool, if you're not paying attention to the depth, someone can hit their head. A lady saw that with her husband. He ended up being paralyzed from the waist down because of it. But I just know now I'm never going swimming without somebody else there because, God forbid, something happens, right? Car accident. Oh, they got into a car accident because their music was too loud and they didn't hear the emergency vehicle, and boom, they got T-boned. So I'll try to turn my music down a little bit more when I'm driving or, um, moving or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, that child passed away in a car crash because they weren't in a car seat, or their parents didn't take the time to put the seatbelt on, or they were in an ill-fitting car seat. I'm always going to take that extra time to make sure that my little passengers are safe and secure every chance I get. So it's just understanding and appreciating, um, the risk that we all encounter on a daily basis just by getting up and going about our day. Of course, there are going to be times when we cannot do anything about it. I think of that family of, I think it was like four, and the lady was pregnant, and the two other people, where this woman was like barreling down the road 90 miles per fucking hour, ran into these two cars, and they basically combusted, went into fire flames, and nobody survived except the person who crashed the car. And, that's something that they couldn't have prevented even if they tried. So I do know that unfortunate things happen. I also read an article where there were teenagers driving in a car, and they ended up getting into a car accident, and all six of the teen girls passed away. So as a mom of a child with a young driver, no, no, we're not doing the passenger thing. Maybe one passenger, definitely no more than that, because I want to minimize the risk, right? Again, I understand I'm not a helicopter mom, but I am a paranoid mom, and I'm learning from other people's mistakes to try to save my own children, my own family members, and myself. And when I implement these rules, I know it's strangling, I know it's frustrating, and I know it upsets my children. But I feel like as long as it's coming from the heart, then how can I be wrong? You know what I'm saying? How can someone who's acting with good intention ever be blamed or pointed the finger at for being wrong? And that doesn't mean that it's right, but I'm parenting the best way I know how. And I'm sure you guys are parenting the best way you know how. And I believe our style of parenting could impact our children in a way that could be detrimental to the relationships. And I'm struggling, y'all. I am really struggling with this title of being a parent, because I know that it could be suffocating, and I know that I could be stifling the development and the pursuit of independence for my children, but it still doesn't change the fact that I am who I am, and I'm going to remain this way if it means that I can postpone death, so to speak. Because my worst fear is death, and I feel like if it's not fatal, it's fixable. And ultimately, that's what I'm fighting against. And I know everybody has a date at the end of their dash. We don't know when that is. But do we really want it to come sooner than it has to? No, right. I heard y'all. You said no. You said no. Right. I'm saying no too. We don't want that. So how can I parent as a paranoid parent and not upset my children? I just feel like I'm still going to have to move about life the way I am and stay true to myself, while also taking into consideration their feelings. I do revisit with them often and say, what am I doing wrong? What could I be doing better? How can we compromise? I understand you want to pick up your friend. Y'all want to go to the mall. Y'all want to hang out. But that one ride becomes two rides, becomes 10 rides. And then there's another friend. How do you tell that other friend no when they see the other friend in the passenger side? And then does that cause a rift? Like, well, what makes him so special that he get to ride with you and I can't ride? So it's just equity, fairness, just no. And for safety purposes, no. Because it could be a distraction. I'm from, upstate New York. Back when I was, I might have been like 15, 14, maybe like 13, 14. Somebody I knew of was in a car crash with three other people and was the only one that passed away. Not to mention, though, right, when our children are learning how to drive, they are a risk in and of themselves, because now you have a passenger whose life you are responsible for, and one wrong move can end up with that person being hurt and you not. And who wants to take that pain on? It's not something, trust me, it's not something that's fun. So in this life of, bad things happening to good people, and trying to be an amazing parent and keep our children safe and do the right thing. How do we balance doing the right thing and being protective of our children? And that's the struggle I'm having. Honestly, this is my life category. This is what goes on in my head and my heart on a daily basis. And as I prepare to send my children off to school, I'm the one who always thinks the worst and pray for the best. And I hope all of you guys are praying too for our babies, because we all deserve the opportunity to grow old and get married and have children and meet our grandchildren one day. And life is already hard. So I want to encourage our children to err on the side of caution, but be brave, take risks, but not too crazy of a risk. And just, be wise about the decisions we make, about the moves we make, about the paths we travel, about the people we hang out with, right? Because it's always people, places, and things. So that was what was on my heart today. That's something I wanted to get out. As y'all see me, I am totally in my natural essence outside of the eyelashes and the hoop earrings. Your girl is definitely 100% with the 4C going on. Look, I even got a pimple going on here. It is what the fuck it is. I never said I was going to be perfect. I just said I was going to pop in from time to time and bless y'all with my presence. So anyway, I hope you guys had an amazing summer. I hope that the new school year brings forth joy and happiness and fulfillment and academic success for all your children. I gained a couple new subscribers. Thank you guys so much, because you didn't have to when you did. And I just wanted you to know I'm thankful. And if you are watching this video and you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so. I'm not going to ask you to, because that's just not my style. But do what you want. I know you're going to anyway. I got that from a good friend of mine. So y'all take care. Y'all be well. Y'all stay blessed. And know that your girl, Lady Lips, is sending lots of love. Peace.